welcome to this monthly edition of the Las Vegas Advisor. This is our monthly update for the month of July. Today's Thursday, July 3rd in the year 2025. And usually we do, in the past, we've done a July 4th update specifically for July 4th. But since it's tomorrow, we're just going to kind of include everything in this episode.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, if you're not here, who cares?
Right.
Right. I mean, most of the people watching aren't here in Vegas. So we'll just kind of fly through this fireworks.
Yep.
On the Strip, you know, Vegas famous for fireworks, New Year's Eve and July 4th.
Yes.
New Year's Eve is the big coordinated one. July 4th, they're not so much, but still there's going to be a lot of them. Okay, so if you're here, you're looking at the Plaza downtown.
Well, you know that's where I'm going to be.
Yeah, and they're also having a wing eating contest.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be for their World Championship next year. But I mean, there's going to be a competition there. The most wings you can eat in 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then on the Strip, it's going to be Caesar's Palace. And then around town, you're going to have, just like last year, you're going to have Green Valley Ranch, Red Rock Resort, and Durango from Station Casinos. You're going to have M Resort, you're going to have the Strat, and you're going to have a bunch of stragglers all around.
Right. So hide your dogs, give them sedatives, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, it'll be a party day in Vegas.
Yeah, it definitely is. Also, if you're going to be downtown, I got to give a little plug here for myself. On Friday, July 4th at 7 p.m., I will be doing the Comedy Reviewers Show. The Comedy Reviewers are local in town, but they write about comedians all over the place, and they're doing a show. Got a lot of local comics that are going to be there. You can follow the Comedy Reviewers on Instagram, social media. If you're a local in Vegas, the tickets are free. And
where is it? Did you say?
I don't think I said. It's going to be at Notoriety. That's why I'm going to go to the Plaza. So I'm going to go hit Notoriety. I'm going to go hit the show. They also have a 5 o'clock show. I'm only going to be on the 7 o'clock. But again, if you're a local, that 5 o'clock show is free. You just show ID at the door, and you can get in for free. Tell them that you're there to see Andrew Hunt. I think I get credit for, you know, if people come to see me. You know, I think it's a nice feather in my cap.
Good.
So,
and then afterwards, fireworks.
After that, fireworks and, you know, gambling and all the fun stuff that ensues downtown on July 4th.
All right.
All right, and for those of you who are members of the LVA and you got your newsletter from Anthony, you know that the lead story is that prices, everything seems to be coming down in Vegas.
Yeah, it's finally, you know, the worm is turning a little bit here.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this. We've been saying that since the pandemic, you know, it's been gouge, prices up.
Yep.
And there was going to come a point where the customer was going to go, okay, I've had enough.
Correct.
And I think that together with, you know, they're just exasperated with it. And that coupled with just economic uncertainty is starting to show in the numbers. And we said this actually several months ago when we saw Station Casino put up that $5.99 hamburger. You know, we said, okay, something's going on. You know, if Station's starting to promote again like that something's going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been stories last month alone. There were two things that hit social media. Mm-hmm. One was one was somebody picked up on a $60 charge at the Flamingo for early check-in.
That's terrible. We talked about that.
$60 at the Flamingo?
Yeah.
For 3 hours extra, you know, to get in? I mean, it's just terrible. $60 for early check-in. But then worse than that, almost, it hit the social media thing, kind of went viral, was somebody got a bill at Aria, $24 for a Fiji water.
Yeah.
They took it out of the minibar, though.
That's pretty bad.
You know, basic strategy is don't take anything out of the minibar. But I mean, $24 for a bottle of water.
It's egregious.
Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So, I mean, we're starting to see things. I mean, like Resorts World, we talked about it last week. Resorts World took away the charge for parking.
Yeah, so and the resort fees.
Yeah, free parking at Resorts World. Then they came back a couple of weeks later and they took away the resort fees.
Right.
So now there's no charge for parking and no resort fees at Resorts World. Mm-hmm. And others are beginning to follow suit to some degree. They're doing packages without resort fees and things, but nobody's done it to the extent of what Resorts World has done.
Right. Now, hopefully they're going to get some gambling promos coming out soon that will get people back into the casinos.
Yeah, you'll see stuff. You know, you'll see stuff all around. But what we did do is we did, you know, our big July room rate survey.
That's right.
Which we do every year. Every July and every December we do that. And the hypothesis was if things are going like this, we think that room rates should come down.
Right. And you've said in the past that July and December are typically the lowest rates for coming to Vegas.
Yeah, because December's really slow because people are saving up for Christmas, and July people are taking vacations in other places.
Right.
All around with their kids and things like that. So usually in July you get good deals. That's why we do it. But we also like the comparison year to year. And we saw in this comparison that, we called up, I think, 92 different places.
Okay.
And we found, 34. We found 34 with base rates. Now, this is not counting the resort fee, but base rates under $50.
Okay.
All right. So last year there were only 28. So there were 6 more there. Then there were 4 places that were Oyo, Silver Sevens, Rio, and the Strat.
Okay.
That had base rates under $20.
All really good places to stay, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
all places I've stayed. I've stayed at all of those places.
I don't know about Oyo.
That's true. But you know what? I've stayed at the Oyo. They did redo their rooms at some point.
Yeah. 20 some years ago. No, but I mean, anywhere to hang your hat, I think. But the lowest rate was, there's an interesting dynamic going on here. The lowest rate was the Strat, $11.41.
Really?
That was the charge. But the resort fee, $55.98. Is that what it is? Yeah, $55.96. So what we call now the real rate, and what you really have to pay, they're advertising $11.41. But $55.96, and the real rate comes to $67.36.
Right, and that's what people want. They want, what's the bottom line now? The real rate.
Right, and that is the bottom line, $67.36. Now, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's great.
Right? That's not bad at all.
Well, I like the Strat a lot, as we've talked about. There's a lot of fun things to do around there.
Yeah, but what really comes into play is the resort fees here. And, there was this junk fee bill that was passed, so they are putting the resort fees on there, but they're still not combining the prices. So you want to look at places where they're doing deals on resort fees. So let's go back to Resorts World, right, where they've pulled the resorts fee. Their base rate is $79.
Right.
So there's no resort fee on top of that. That's the rate you pay. $79 at Resorts International. This is midweek, not weekends, but that's pretty darn good. That's
really good. It's also the second newest casino on the Strip, so it's they got a lot of everything there's new.
Right. So other ones that don't charge resort fee, Four Queens, came to $69. Golden Nugget's doing a special right now without resort fees. And you can buy a package there. It comes to $59 a day.
Okay.
Not bad. And Binion's comes to $54 a day.
Okay.
Now, that was the best of all of the places. Now, we've got it, for those of you who are LVA members, you get the newsletter. We've got them all listed, all the prices, everything else. So check that out. But where it really comes into play is when you use the member rewards discounts that we have for LVA members.
That's right.
And here's what those came out to. Binion's. Now, Binion's for the general public is $54. If you use the LVA, it's $45.90.
Okay.
All right. Downtown Grand, $42 a night if you use the LVA discount because it waives the resort fee.
Right. The entire resort fee.
Right. Otherwise, it's 70-something or 80-something. The Plaza, $34.13 for LVA people who use our deal.
Yeah.
And best of all, this one's a banger. We did it. We booked it. We got it at the Rio. $12.60 a night.
At the Rio, $12?
Yeah, because first of all, you get a 30% discount on the room through LVA, and second, no resort fee.
Okay.
So it's all done. It's literally, you're getting midweek there for $12.60.
Time to come to Vegas, guys.
Pretty strong, but again, this is with the member rewards discount.
Yeah.
So you got to be an LVA member to get this.
So you become a member, you get all the coupons, and take advantage of the worm seemingly turning here in Vegas.
Great. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, you want to come to town for 3 or 4 days midweek.
Yeah.
And you pay $50 for LVA, and you're gonna get 3 rooms for like $36.
Well, also, we get
strong.
so many people coming from California, and as a former Los Angeles native, this is exactly what I'd look for.
Yeah.
You come, it's a 4-hour drive. You leave at 6 in the morning. On a Tuesday, you're here by breakfast. Late breakfast at 10:30 in the morning.
Right.
You get a few days here during the week, and then
good deals. But the bigger story is that, again, it's starting to turn.
Yeah.
And we're going to see more and more and better deals.
Yeah, that's hilarious that it was the $5.99 burger over at Stations that just changed everything.
I don't know if it changed it, but it was the leader. It was the one that told us that something was going on.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Andrew from the Las Vegas Advisor reminding you to click on the link in the description box below to get your 2025 Member Rewards coupon book. Food coupons, gambling coupons, All kinds of cool stuff to do in that Member Rewards coupon book. You can also use the code word Andrew for a minus $5 discount off of your Member Rewards book. Link in the description box below. Now, every year at this time, the World Series of Poker comes to town. It's big news. They've been in town for a few weeks now, gearing up for the main event. Now, tell us, what's happening with the World Series of Poker, Anthony?
Well, main event started yesterday.
Okay.
And so that's underway. Everyone's waiting to see how big it's going to be.
Okay.
You know, there were some people like me who thought that poker was starting to wane a little bit. Numbers have been really big.
Okay.
They had like the second biggest tournament of all time a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Something like 26,000 people entered a single tournament.
And last year was record-breaking as well.
No, the one that, last year was big, but it didn't. The record is back from like 2019.
Oh, okay.
So like some 28,000 or something in one tournament. But you know, a lot of them. But what's going on right now? There are two things. One is another controversy again, which is an interesting one. We'll talk about it real quick. And two is just some of the exploits of some of these players, some of the things they've been doing.
Okay.
So what do you want to talk about first, the controversy or the exploits?
Let's talk about the controversy, Anthony. People like to know controversy. What's happening?
Well, everyone was like, is there going to be another problem? Because remember last year, there's all kinds of new rules this year because they were using what they call solvers at the final table. AI. Yeah, they were having, you know, the coaches were coaching using computers and things like that, so they outlawed it. So would there be another problem this year? Yeah, there's another problem this year.
Okay. Well, what's the problem? What's happening?
Well, here's what happened. This one has to do with what they call chip dumping.
Okay.
Or, you know, basically it's players playing together, collusion.
Collusion.
Here's what it is. But how strange is this? The collusion was between only two players who were going heads up. So how do you collude if there's only two players? Who's getting beat?
Okay.
Right? All the other players are off the table. And when this happened was only during heads up play. But here's what happened. There were two players, obviously, heads up. One of them was involved in a WPT, World Poker Tour, which is a different group than the WSOP, World Series of Poker, that if anybody, one of their champions, won a championship in WSOP, they would get $1 million bonus.
Okay.
So one of the players, see if I can pronounce his name here, Jesse Yaganuma. Jesse Yaganuma?
Yes.
And the other was James Carroll.
Okay.
All right, so Jesse was eligible to get the $1 million bonus.
He's the World Poker Tour player.
Yes, and Carroll was not.
Okay.
The problem is when they got the heads up, Carroll had a 9-1 chip advantage.
Okay.
So basically, he was crushing him.
Yeah.
Basically, it would be very difficult. They're both pros. They both have World Series of Poker bracelets previously. They both know what they're doing. So it's very difficult to lose heads up with 9-1 lead.
He'd have to go all in multiple times to win.
Several times.
Yeah.
And the other guy would have to lose those hands and fall for it and, you know, call the all-in bets and everything else. It's just 9-1 is a huge, you know, deficit to make up.
Yeah.
But apparently the two took an unscheduled break, right? They took a break and they sort of disappeared. And when they came back, magically, the guy who was behind started making all the right plays and catching up.
Okay.
And the guy who was ahead started making a bunch of very questionable plays. And it soon became obvious to people that a deal had probably been made.
Okay.
So what they were going to do is make sure the guy who gets the $1 million bonus, and who knows what the split was between them, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to cut it up afterwards. And, you know, you said to me when we were talking, you said, well, that's hard to prove.
It could be hard to prove.
Not really in poker.
Okay.
In poker, in a situation like this, when you have experts, you kind of know a lot of this stuff is rote.
Yeah.
A lot of these plays are rote. And one guy was doing all the right things, and the other guy was doing all the wrong things. And the announcers who were, you know, the analysts who were watching the game for the live stream were going, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why did he do that?
Yeah.
I don't understand. That's a strange play. What?
Yeah.
When it all got done and everybody kind of thought about it and saw, they can see what's going on. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen. So far, we heard yesterday that WSOP said they're not awarding a bracelet. They're not going to declare a winner. So they're saying guilty. Meanwhile, WPT, which is the only aggrieved party, right? Because they have to pay the $1 million.
They have to pay, yeah.
They said they're going to pay.
Yeah.
Now, they don't have to, but I mean, they said, you know, they could take a stance too. They say they're going to pay. But now all of the people who are talking about it from the outside, the pros, are saying, who got hurt? The only one who got hurt is WPT, who's got to put up $1 million, but they want to.
Yeah.
So it didn't hurt any of the other players. It's an interesting one.
It is interesting. So what do you think is going to happen?
I think they've already said they're just not going. They're going to cut up the money in whatever way they're going to do it, and I think WPT is going to pay, and these guys are going to split a bunch of money, but they won't get a bracelet.
And you think that
I'll take the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think that the WSOP is just going to say, sorry, we caught you cheating, you're disqualified, period?
Well, they kind of did that. They said, we're not going to name a winner, and you don't get the bracelet.
Okay.
But I think they're going to give them the money.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here's the other stuff. When I talked about exploits, we'll just run through this real quick, because if you're not a poker player, you don't care. Amazing stuff happened here. First thing was Michael Mizrachi. They call him the Grinder. He won the $50,000 buy-in, $50,000 buy-in, poker player championship, PPC. And this is the one that all the biggest players play.
Okay.
And he won it for the fourth time. Fourth time this guy has won it. Just an unbelievable. There have been actually another guy's won it 3 times. Last year, Negreanu won it. Mm-hmm. It's always big names.
Yeah.
But he's won it for the 4th time. So that's amazing.
How many people entered? Do you know?
107.
Okay.
So it's not
That's
like
a lot.
it's not like you better beat a big giant field.
Yeah.
But still, to win it 4 times is amazing.
It's a lot of people putting up 50,000.
Yeah, it is. So a big pot and everything else. 7th bracelet. Another guy named Benny Glazer.
Okay.
Has won 3 bracelets this year. He won 3 tournaments.
Oh wow.
Which is amazing, and he's up to 8 bracelets now. And then finally, a woman named, I'm not sure how to pronounce her first name, Shina Okamoto, played the ladies event 3 years in a row. She's taken 2nd, 1st, and 1st.
Okay, way to
She
go.
won it again. And there's over 12,000, over 1,200 players in all of those.
Okay.
Same woman. Did it 3 times. So, it's just crazy. This is all crazy bell curve stuff.
Yeah.
Wild things happening, like the guy who gets lucky in his megabucks. These guys have just really done some exceptional things in poker.
That sounds great. Sounds exciting. Also, we always promote that you can go and watch at WSOP for free at the Horseshoe.
Yeah, free to watch.
Yeah. Well, now this is exciting. It's something Derek Stevens is doing. SLOTAPALOOZA?
SLOTAPALOOZA.
Let's talk about it. SLOTAPALOOZA.
July 19th.
Okay.
The biggest slot tournament in the world, or something they're calling it.
All right.
But here's what's great about it. All right, mark your calendars, July 19th at Circa.
Okay.
Everybody gets to play for free.
Mm-hmm.
You're not playing, it's funny, they're not playing for a really big prize. First prize is I think it's a video poker machine.
Okay.
Or $2,500. And then the top 50 are going to split up $15,000 in free play.
Okay, cool.
Right? But it's free to play.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets 1 shot.
Mm-hmm.
You play for 2 minutes.
Okay.
And you see how much you can score, on the slots, on the tournament slots.
Okay, so for 2 minutes of your time, you can get a chance to enter.
Yeah, and well, you can get some good free play, or you can win a slot machine or $2,500, or whatever you're going to do. But what's cool about it is they're going to make a big deal about it. Mm-hmm. So from 7 to 9 that night, they're going to have an open bar. Mm-hmm. And everyone who's at machine and playing, they're going to give away another $5,000 in free play.
Okay.
And they're going to give away some swag or some kind of, merchandise or something like that. But 2 hours of an open bar at Circa.
Sounds great.
July 19th, I'm there, man.
Yeah, me too. And when Derek Stevens does stuff, he does it right, so it'll be fun.
It's going to be good. Hey, you can get lucky, win the damn thing.
Yeah. All right, Anthony. This is something that you were talking about. This is more Circa, more fun stuff to see at Circa. Tell us what's happening with the butts. Yeah, the butts.
The butts. The butts are back.
The butts are back.
The famous butts.
Yes.
Of the I guess it's a bronze sculpture.
Okay.
Of the Crazy Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Back from, I think, 1997 or so.
Okay.
When they were at the Riviera. And they got 6 or 7 of them together, I forget. And they all turned their backsides to the camera and everything else, and I got not the camera, to the bronzers.
Okay.
And they put, they made a bronze sculpture out of them. They put the however they do that. They covered them, and they made a sculpture out of these girls' rear ends.
Yeah.
And it was famous for years and years and years. It was out in front of the Riviera.
Uh-huh. And
people would come by and they would rub the cheeks, right? They would rub the cheeks for luck.
Pretty cool.
And it was at the Riv for a long time. And Circa has gotten, when the Riv closed, it was done. And Circa has taken it out of storage. Uh-huh. And it's now up there at Circa at the entrance to the Legacy Club upstairs.
Very cool. And also Circa's got Vegas Vicky. So they have...
Yeah. They do that. They go for all this, memorabilia and stuff like that, and all the old Vegas stuff and so forth.
I like
so
that.
That's another good one. You want to do that, that's another thing in the member rewards book. We've got that great coupon for 2 free glasses of champagne in the Legacy Club.
Yeah.
So get your coupon, your member rewards book. You have to take it out in front of them. So take your book, see the thing, rub the butts, right?
That's
rub
right.
the butts, go up, get some champagne. It's great. It's fantastic.
The other thing that we should mention is that, that Legacy Club is an incredible view.
Oh man, it's a great place. And so many people that have used that member rewards coupon.
Yeah.
When we first got it, I was like, all right, 2 glasses of champagne. What's so great about that? Can't tell you how many couples have told me this was so cool.
It is cool.
They got 2, those glasses are like $17-18 a piece.
Yeah.
So it's like a $35 perk right there. But then you get to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they've got the bronze statue of the girls at the bottom, and at the top they got the bus, not of the girls, but the bus of famous Las Vegans like Benny Binion and Bob Stupak and all that kind of thing. So it's a really good parlay. Go see the girls and go upstairs.
They also have a fun one where I guess Derek has a whole bunch of gold coins that are behind a glass, and they're circa gold coins, and then there's the value of the gold coins.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it goes up, and I think it was like last time it was there was a few $1 million worth of these.
Okay.
These
Well, that's also at Legacy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all that stuff is up there. Yeah, I did see that up there. Now that I think about it.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, all kinds of reasons to go see Legacy Club, but even better to go in style with an LVA coupon and get some free drinks.
Check out the butts.
All right, and a little bit of dining. What you got, Anthony?
Summer special.
Okay.
Another summer special. We talked about this one last year too. It's so good. A place called Tres Cazuelas.
That is right around the corner from us.
Yeah.
That we love this place.
We could walk there from here.
Yeah.
We don't. We drive. but we could walk there. It's a non-casino place. It's not a bar. It's a restaurant. It's a gem.
Yep.
Right? And during the summer, Tuesdays through Thursdays, the steak dishes are 50% off.
Okay.
Now, there's only 2 steak dishes. All right, but they're both terrific. One's a big giant ribeye. The other one is like they slice the churrasco style, I think they call it, because it's Latin. This is like Latin cuisine. And here's the great parlay there. Oh, first, let's say where it is. It's what we said is right around the corner. The address is 3355 Spring Mountain.
Just think Sand Dollar on
It's
Spring
right
Mountain.
next door to the Sand Dollar.
Right.
Right? So, again, Tres Cazuelas. But the great play is you do it on a Wednesday and bring your own wine.
Okay.
Because on Wednesday, they have a special where there's no corkage fee.
Okay, so you bring your own bottle and then...
They'll open it for you for free, and
Wonderful.
then you get steaks for 50% off.
Okay.
And the other thing you got to do is the Iberico dates. There's like the bacon wrap dates.
Yep.
Best I've ever had anywhere.
We had those last time.
Yep. And anyone I've ever taken there who has tried it, I've asked them if they've ever had better, and no one said they have.
We went on a double date, and that was a lot of fun. We had dates on the double date.
We actually had girls with us.
Yeah, we did. That was a lot of fun, too.
Nice. This is a good one, though, folks.
Yeah, and then definitely hit the Sand Dollar on the way out. Go grab a beer at the Sand Dollar and see
way out
some
or way
music.
in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, I know we talk about the coupon book a lot, but there's good reason. We got new member rewards coupons.
Yeah, member rewards online. We call them MROs.
Yeah.
2 free tickets to Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club.
Now, even though they're not booking me every night like they should, that's probably a good deal.
2 free tickets.
Yeah.
It's not a 2-for-1. Plus 20% off the menu, whatever you eat or drink. Also, 2 free tickets to the Composer's Room.
That's another hot spot in town.
Where
This place is cool.
Yeah, various shows.
Yeah.
Usually it's music. Sometimes they have comedy there, I think, but usually it's music. And 25% off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are 2 good ones, man.
Composer's Room, I can't say enough good things about it. It's a sleeper. I think it's classy. They have video poker. Their drinks are good. Their food is good, and their shows are unique and different. They have a lot of variety stuff. So it is comedy. It is music. It's kind of everything.
Yeah, and it's in the old commercial center,
Free parking.
which is that's a a very kind of like forever place in Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's where the original Lotus of Siam was.
Oh yeah, I think it's still there. I think it's opening up.
It's
again.
opening up again. It's been closed for because something was wrong with the roof, and then they went and opened a place across from Silver Sevens on Flamingo. Then they opened another one at Red Rock, but it's not the same as the original. And that original's supposed to open up, but that's right across the parking lot from the Composer's Room. And you've got these 2 free tickets to go check something out. So if you're an LVA member, check your member rewards online. That's a downloadable coupon. We've also got 3 more with gambling deals. One at the Mint Tavern,
Okay.
which is like sort of kitty corner from the Sahara.
Okay.
Another one at the Oak Room, and the third one at the Boulevard Grill.
Okay.
So we had a nice haul this month.
All right. So we got some new gambling coupons, new reasons to join. We had Michael Kaplan, the author of The Advantage Players, on last week.
Yep.
And, check the website, become a member, get involved.
And check out our Jackpot show next week.
That's right. We got a Jackpot show coming up. So like, share, subscribe. That's it for this one. And we'll see you on the next one.
Well, I'm going to